So now the next thing we will be discussing is a assertion. So assertion means that we are matching the expected with the actual. Okay. So when we are sending the request and getting the response, so we can assert certain things. For example, I want to assert some content that this page, if I'm logging in and I'm entering invalid username password, I should get this message, invalid user. So I want to assert that text is coming in my response or not. Okay. If I'm calling a API, so what it do? It gives me the response code. 200 means it is a success code. Or if we are doing the post type of request, so it will give you 201. That is a success code. That is my expectation. But if 400 is coming, then it means the page is not giving me the correct response. So we have to assert that this particular uh, response code is coming or not. Okay. Similarly, I want to assert the load time. That is when I am sending the request. 5 people are sending to the request. I am expecting that page should be loaded within 4000 millisecond. So that is my maximum load time I am expecting. But if page is taking too much time to load, for example, it is taking 6000 millisecond to load, so it means my assertion will fail. So it means page loading is not coming, server is not giving the response in the specific time. So we can check the load or time also. And similarly, data, how much data when we are sending a request, so how much data we are sending in the bytes, how much data we are sending in the getting the page from the in the bytes. So I want to check the size. So I can do the size assertion also. Okay. Similarly, there is a assertion class. For example, when we are logging in, so a cookie object is generated, and after that cookie object is generated, we have to validate that same cookie object is we are using inside the shopping, or when we are doing the payment, same cookie object is we are using. So in the so we have to compare it with the current cookie object with the previous request. So there also we can use the assertion. So assertion basically, you can again write the assertion at the test plan level if you want to test it for all the request. Okay. Or you can put it inside the specific request also. Okay. So if I again take these requests to the thread group level, okay. So for example, I want to check the size for or the load time for all these requests. So instead of, so I can add the assertion at the request level also. Add assertion. So again, you will find the assertion. Response assertion. That is, what is the response? So I want to assert the response assertion. Size assertion. How much data we are sending. If we are getting the data in the JSON format, it is used with the API. Then we use the JSON assertion. Duration. How much time it takes to complete all the things. So we can write the duration assertion. So these are the multiple assertions we can add. Okay. So now, for example, if I want to add the common assertion for all the requests, then we can go to the test plan level. So that right click, add, and you will find the assertions over here. Okay. And for example, I want to check the duration assertion. That is for all the requests, I want to add the duration assertion common. Like this. So I am saying that apply to the main sample and the subsamples, or apply to the main sample only, or apply to the subsamples only. So the subsamples means we can add the sampler inside the sampler. Main sampler means the first main sampler only, like logic or control sampler, or main sampler and the subsampler. So I can check this one. That is, I want to add to all the samplers and the subsamplers. because I am adding at a test plan level. And how much duration? For example, and it takes the time in milliseconds automatically. So that is, I want to say that all the pages should be loaded within, because as you have seen in my uniform random timer, I have written maximum time of 3000. In my previous lecture, I have discussed about the time controller. So we have specified that it maximum time should be 3000. So I'm expecting that all the pages should be executed within 3000 millisecond. So I can add 3000 millisecond. So this is my expectation that all the pages should be loaded within this particular time. And you can, because I am adding to the test plan level, so you can take it to the above. And if the page is loading within the time, it will pass, otherwise it will fail. So you see, first one is failing. Why first one is failing? Because we have added the time with this also here. So we have added the time with the request this much time, and we have added the time with the test plan level also. Okay, uniform timer we have added with. So I told you that it will, for this request, it will add this time plus this time. So it will be more than 3000 millisecond time. So it is failing, and you can check from here that what is the time. So it is more than 3000 millisecond, and hence it is failing. Okay, so that is a duration assertion. Similarly, on a particular request level, you can add the specific assertion, say size assertion. So again, main sample and the subsample. Main sample only, so I want to add to the main sample only. Okay, and where you want to response size of the full response, or response header you want to check, or the response body you want to check, or response. So these are the different thing. So for example, I want to check the response body size, and here in bytes, for example, I say that I am expecting that I am getting 400. So type can be equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to. So I say it should be greater than 400 milliseconds, for example. Or if I want to fail it, less than 400 milliseconds. Sorry, in bytes, 400 bytes. So in that way, you can add the size assertion. But this will apply to this request only, not to other request. Duration assertion will apply to all the things because I've added at a test plan level. This one is failing because of duration, but other one is passing because here the byte, you can just see, this one, it is within the specific, it is greater than 400, so that's why it is passing. And similarly, on a, for example, Selenium HTTP request, I want to add assertion, that is a response assertion, and I say that I want, so you want to check that some text response. Text response means I want to check that this page should have this content. For example, if I go to this is the page I am visiting and this is the Selenium page I am visiting. So there I am expecting that I should get detailed course syllabus. This one. This page should have this thing. So I will add the text response for it. Okay. Contains. Okay. So contains matches equals substring. Not means if I check it not. So this should not have. Or if I check or, so it and or. Okay. So I'm just checking contains and add the string. This that this should have this contains. And again, if I add assertion, response code. And again I say equals 200. So in that way, you can add different kind of the assertion. And when we'll be discussing the bean shell sampler, there is a assertion class. So we can use the assertion class also by writing our code to assert some data by writing a code. So we can write a code using the Java because it's a Java based. So in the bean request sampler, pre-processor and post-processor, we can write our Java code, and there also you can use the assertion class to assert different kind of the values. So again, if I run it, so whatever things we have to validate it, if it validation is completed, it will pass, otherwise it will fail. Okay. So in that way, duration assertion is failing, other things are passing. Okay. So in that way, you can add the different type of the assertions, and then when you generate the report, as you discussed, listener, then whatever is passing, whatever is failing, that will also be reported in your listener. In that way, you can make your project framework.